Good evening, and thank you very much to be with me today. And welcome to the Maritime Chessboard channel. Today, I am going to answer the question. Can you give me an example of a time when you had to think out of the box to find a solution to a problem? To answer the question, I would like to share a story with you. The situation is that I remember a time when I was working at the port management company in a high level responsibility managerial position, and the government portuary agency decided to start a discussion about the number of employees per team that we had to implement to provide the service to one of our main clients. The problem was that we were working at the vessel with four teams of 10 members at a time. It was an efficient way to operate the service. Nonetheless, the government agency was forcing us to work with teams of 20 members each. It was quite obvious that the decision was increasing the operational cost by 100%. That situation was jeopardizing the economic stability of the organization. We had the feeling that a black hand was behind of that position. Probably it was our competitors trying to destabilize our company. So the task was to create a solution in order to solve the problem. Option number one was negotiating the service price with the client, which was actually painting myself in the corner. I mean, a very dangerous way because the market was so competitive and probably the customers could be tempted to start negotiating with our competitors. Option B was to reduce the salary of our labor force, but it was skating on thin ice because it could increase the possibility to suffer another labor strike. And that could also put in a dangerous position our company. Therefore, the normal ways to solve a problem couldn't be applied without tremendously increasing the risk. As a result, I needed to think out of the box and find an alternative solution for the case. I knew that if I failed, we probably could lose our company, and as a consequence, my job as well. So the action was that I start reading and learning about how to solve the problem in a way to think out of the box and create a new solution. This way, applying the principle of learning and be curious, I started reading the laws concerning the market, the public procurement law, Costa Rica Constitution, Port Authority internal procedures and regulations, just to get some information that could be helpful to refuse the argument of the Port Authority. Finally, I found I found a legal solution with the regulatory authority, which is RCEP agency. It was an article regarding that in order to implement a cost structure in the public market, the regulator authority has to perform a cost structure research. And they didn't perform it at that time. At that moment, I realized about the opportunity to put in checkmate the port authority in a very clever way. Definitely, it was our knight in shining armor. Thereby, I start sending letters to the authorities complaining about the fact that they didn't have studies to really match the number of employees with the rates that the government has established for the service. I was sure that it was mandatory by law to have studies before forcing us to implement the labor force structure measure that they wanted us to apply. The results. The results were fantastic. With the legal hold that I found, I stopped the government from duplicating the labor force that we use for the service. This way, I saved the company in economic and market terms. Again, the board of directors was happy with the solution that I found to the problem. I felt fantastic uh, because I dive deep into the problem And as the more I meticulously examine the situation, the better I understand the legal complexity of the issue. I realize about the power of knowledge and the magnificence of the power of patiently scrutinize all the aspects of any particular situation to solve the problem from different perspectives.